Finally, we get the big game from Nickeil Alexander-Walker as the Pelicans beat the Blazers 111-97, plus strong performances from Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart, Jonas Valanciunas. Let's talk about it in the Wednesday edition of Locked On Pelicans. Let's go.
You are Locked On Pelicans, your daily New Orleans Pelicans podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to another edition of Locked On Pelicans, the daily podcast covering your favorite team, the New Orleans Pelicans at NBA, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day, available wherever you get your podcasts. I'm your host, Pelicans Insider, credential member of the media, Jake Madison, at NOLA Jake on Twitter. Here with y'all on this Wednesday, and thank you for making Locked On Pelicans your first listen every single day. We are free and available 5 days a week for y'all. No paywall, anything like that, just talking all things Pelicans as they're on 3-game winning streak right now. Pretty good for the team, kind of really turning the fortunes of their season around. And we finally have the Nickeil Alexander-Walker game we've all been waiting for. This was a fun one, so let's just dive right in and talk about it. So big win for New Orleans, 111-97 over the Portland Trail Blazers. You know, I didn't do a show yesterday. Basically, if I did, it was just you can't lose to this Portland team. Portland has been bad. They have won their last 2 going into this one, but they had lost 7 in a row before that, 8 in a row, something like that before this game. No CJ McCollum. Damian Lillard's been a little bit out of sorts, though you knew he was going to get right against the Pelicans in some capacity, right? That's what guards do. But overall, their team's been pretty bad. And so you needed to get this win. You know, I talked about now that the Pelicans on that 2-game winning streak against not great teams. Keep it up and beat those really bad teams. Show that you are better than bad teams. That at least means you're not bad. And that's what the Pelicans did in this one. And look, they got a big boost off the bench from Nickeil Alexander-Walker. He was excellent in this game. There's like no other way to put it. He was really the star of the show. 27 points from him, 10 of 16 shooting, 6 of 9 from the field overall, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 turnovers. But when you're having that kind of production, those 4 turnovers are actually probably, in my opinion, okay. He didn't look like the normal Nickeil we've seen, right? There was a lot of balance to his game, I thought. He had the 3-point shot falling, particularly in the fourth quarter where he took over, right? You saw the Blazers make a run in the fourth to kind of keep this one close, and Nickeil just decided that that wasn't going to happen and he was going to win the game. Carried them 17 points in the fourth quarter from him alone. That is an exceptional performance. 18 in the fourth, including 13 straight. Basically just willing this team and dragging them across the finish line to another victory. You know, he had balance in his game. When they attacked him on closeouts, trying to run him off the 3-point line, he's okay, put the ball on the ground and drove to the basket and scored that way. And when he became the focal point of the defense, he was willing to dish the ball. He didn't try and force things, which I thought was the real big thing, right? He was willing to reset the offense, just get it out of his hands, get it to someone else, move off ball, which he did exceptionally well in this game, to get to another spot where he could then be open, shoot, and do his thing. So he knew not to force things, which was really big. He was patient on offense, looked and chose and took his spots. You got to love that, right? Look, it helps when you have other strong performances from other guys on the team. B.I. was good. Valanciunas was good. Josh Hart was good. We'll talk about them in the next segment. But he was kind of the catalyst on this. Some of those guys had big performances, partially because Nickeil took on a big scoring load, and you needed him to do that. And seeing him move like he did off ball was great. That was such an important thing. And I loved that. He's got to do more of that. If he keeps this up, we're going to like him. And look, he has not been good this year. Let me be very clear, though. You know, this one game doesn't make him good. We've seen flashes from him before. This one game does not mean against a bad defensive team, right, that's banged up, no CJ McCollum, all those guys. You know, this does not mean that he's turned a corner or that he's figured it out. We've seen these one-game explosions from him in past seasons. You know, the question right now from this is not what can he do and how can he help this team and can he help the Pelicans get into playoff contention. It's simply, can he keep this up? Can he do it again? Can he do this consistently? You know, he doesn't need to have this type of performance every single night that he plays, but he does need to shoot efficiently. He does need to not force things. And if he can do that, he can be a solid contributor and be a guy that the Pelicans need. They need this version of him. The bench was not good outside of him, right? Satoransky, guess what? 0 points. Are you shocked by that? 0 for 3. Garrett Temple, 0 for 3. No points from him. Trey Murphy, 0 points. In fact, the only other bench player to score was Billy Hernangomez, who was good in this one, by the way. 13 points on 5 of 6 shooting and 6 rebounds. They need Nickeil, straight up, especially with Kyra Lewis Jr. out. We'll see. I'm skeptical. I'm not a huge believer in him. We see these flashes. We feel good about that. But again, you've got to do it more often, more consistently than he's been. But it's nice to show he still has it, that he's ready if he gets the opportunity to do it. It's a big part of it, right? So we'll see how he plays. But very good balanced game, I thought, from him in this one, and a big part of why this team won. So coming up, my notes on this one as I'm looking at him over here on the screen, it just says Brandon Ingram is good. It says Ingram is good. So let's talk about that and Valanciunas coming up here next in today's episode of Locked On Pelicans. Today's episode of Locked On Pelicans is brought to you by Calm. When it comes to athletes, we tend to focus on physical fitness, but there's another side to the game that's just as important: mental fitness. Calm, the #1 app for sleep and meditation, has teamed up with LeBron James to help you train your mind and become the championship version of yourself. LeBron and Calm know that your mind is like any other muscle in your body, but you don't have to be a world champion to know how to train it. Calm can help you train your brain so you sleep better, reduce your stress, and perform at your best, just like LeBron James. And for LeBron, sleep is a critical part of his mental fitness routine. And as he says, quote, "Getting good sleep and figuring time to rest is the most valuable thing I can do for my body and mind. From the sound of rain falling on leaves to bedtime sleep stories, Calm puts me to sleep within minutes, which means I wake up ready for any challenge," unquote. So if you head to calm.com/LockedOnNBA, calm.com/LockedOnNBA, for a limited time, you're going to get 40% off a Calm premium subscription. With Calm, you have access to nature scenes like LeBron loves, like the rain on leaves, and so much more, like sleep stories, meditation, so you can be ready for any challenges that life throws your way. I straight up took a mental health day from the podcast yesterday. I needed a break. I needed to just kind of clear my head, get away from social media and all of that stuff. I used one of the Calm meditations middle of the day when I was just, I don't know, stressed, not feeling great. It calmed me down. I felt much better, and you're hearing me do the show like it's no problem here today. So it really does help me. This is something I use in my everyday life. So again, for a limited time, our listeners can join LeBron in using Calm and get a 40% discount on a Calm premium subscription at calm.com/LockedOnNBA. Unlock content to help you focus, ease stress, and sleep better. Get started at calm.com, calm.com/LockedOnNBA. That's calm.com/LockedOnNBA. All right, thank you for making Locked On Pelicans your first listen every single day. We're free and available on all platforms Monday through Friday, 5 days a week. There will be shows the rest of the week and all of next week, I'm anticipating as well. So look, a lot of places aren't even coming to you one day a week. We're here 5, breaking down everything you want to know about the team. Trade rumors, what the hell is going on with Zion, right? And of course, the play on the court. So subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, available on YouTube as well, and tell a friend about the show, and leave a 5-star review with a comment. All right, so we're talking about the big win over the Portland Trailblazers, 111-97. Nickeil, the star of the show, yes. But Brandon Ingram, dude has been balling out. Like, it looks so easy for him out there right now, doesn't it? He looks like a different player over these past 12 games. That's not factoring in this game, so this will go up a slight tick on all of these numbers. 25 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Those are really, really strong numbers from him. And it's just fluid, simple. Like, I don't know how to describe it, that it doesn't look like he's trying all of that hard, which is a good thing to say, right? It's just coming naturally to him. 12 of 22 from the field, 2 of 7 from deep. That's not great, but when you can attack the basket like he was doing, when you can grab 8 rebounds, dish out and be a playmaker, 8 assists, he's really helping this team. Look, they've struggled with guard play and creation, right? So his rise of assists, notice there's some sort of, it's coinciding with the team playing better. There's a big part of that. He's able to create for others, create easier looks for them, which means it takes some of the pressure off of them to score and just makes their life easier. That's what you want your leader to do. That's what Brandon Ingram is doing right now. He's playing at an all-star level, just full stop. All-star level Brandon Ingram. He's been really, really good. And in the second quarter and part of the third, it was fun to watch him duel with Damien Lillard, basically going shot for shot, right? He wasn't scared. We've seen him really rise to the occasion over the past couple of weeks since he's been fully healthy from that injury, which clearly hampered him, right? they weren't hiding anything. I think he was just dinged up. It hurt. And now he feels better and he's able to go out and just absolutely dominate. Look at how easy he gets into the lane and scores at the rim on some of these, whether it's dunks, layups, what have you. It looks so simple for him. And that's just due to like the God-given talents, right? His height, his length, the long arms, the wingspan. But as he said in the beginning of the year, he wanted to get stronger. He wanted to attack the basket more. He definitely did in this game. He also, of course, still has that mid-range jumper and he's capable of draining all of those shots. But you saw him try and get downhill a little bit more in this game. That opens things up. It forces the defense to kind of collapse down low, to rotate from the corners where he can then dish it out. Makes everyone's life easier. He was great in this game. He's been great. He should get all-star consideration. Jonas Valanciunas in this one, also pretty good for New Orleans. Scoring wasn't quite there, just 10 points, but 16 rebounds and a couple of big putback scores, grabbing that offensive board, getting the ball back into the hoop to continue that possession and not have it be an empty possession for the Pelicans. He's been great. Like, he's just been great. Very solid player. I was very wrong on how I thought he might be able to contribute this year. He's been really, really good. You know, it doesn't always show up on the scoring numbers. That's okay. He doesn't always need to do that. And I like that at times he realizes, like, I need to back off. But there's definitely times, and they should have gone to him earlier on in this game, I thought. They really tried to kind of do some other things that you didn't want to see. It was the Josh Hart show to start the game, and I'll talk about him next here. But you want to see him get involved early on to at least kind of punish defenses down low. Something the Pelicans need to kind of keep in mind, but I've got really no complaints about his kind of play other than go back to hitting all the threes, man. 0 for 2 in this one. Josh Hart, also excellent. He's been so good this year. 20 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals for him, 1 block and 3 turnovers. He was really good. He was 7 of 10. He's been working well off ball. I think he really likes this role that they have for him too, right? They want him to get the ball on the weak side and then try and facilitate from there and create from there. Don't force anything. Look for someone working off ball. When you have a guy like Herb who cuts all around to try and work off ball, Nickeil who is working well off ball in this game, those kind of guys doing that, Devontae Graham being your outlet guy, it does wonders for a team, and he was really good in this one too. Again, the assist numbers have been great from him this year, really topping any sort of career high. Working as kind of like that tertiary playmaker is the way I would describe it, and that works. Again, creation is a problem for this team. If he can chip in and do that, it's a big bonus for New Orleans. It's lagniappe in a sense, but lagniappe that you like kind of need, right? More you weren't expecting this, you're getting it from him, but now it's kind of become an integral role of and part of what this offense is. He's been, I don't have enough, like there's not enough praise you can throw at him this year. He's been really that good, and if his three-point shot ever becomes more consistent, and it hasn't been, man, look out, the dude's steal at this price. And, you know, if they're looking to trade him or not, I'm not sure. But there's going to be teams that are going to be very interested in him. But with them being buyers rather than sellers, I don't think they're going to necessarily move him just for a first-round pick or anything like that. It would be part of a larger trade that nets a bigger name and maybe a more overall impactful kind of player, I think. All right, coming up, the defense, particularly in the fourth quarter and at times on Damien Lillard. Let's talk about that next in today's episode of Locked On Pelicans. Before we do that, though, today's episode of Locked On Pelicans is brought to you by BetOnline. BetOnline has you covered this holiday season with more prompts, odds, and lines than ever before. Football continues its march through the college bowl season, the pro football playoffs. You got NBA games every single night, so BetOnline remains your number one spot for all the sports action this season. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code LOCKEDON to receive your free money right there. Whether it's basketball, football, NHL, boxing, UFC, right to your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of all the amazing offers available for the 2021 season. Look, you got the Pels on an easy schedule. Might be time to start looking at those spreads. The player props, the over maybe on Nickeil points could be a good one to take a look at. And BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all of your favorite sports. So don't wait to take advantage of all the new amazing offers available over at betonline.ag, where the game starts. Today's episode of Locked On Pelicans is also brought to you by Built Bar. This holiday season, grab the protein bar that tastes like a candy bar, filled with so much holiday goodness, rich with decadent flavor, covered in chocolate, but amazingly low in calories, sugar, net carbs, and fat, but high in protein. You get the best of both worlds, delicious and healthy, and they have so many flavors. You can get a mixed box and try the 9 regular flavors they have. You're going to get 2 of each in there. They're all awesome. I get that pretty regularly. They also, if you go to built.com, have special limited time flavors. They had like a peppermint bark flavor that looked really good. Holiday flavors. They have an eggnog flavor. If you can ever get the chance to buy the coconut brownie chunk, just go and do it. You're going to have no idea how that thing is healthy for you, but it is. So tell Santa to throw a few Built Bars in those stockings, or as someone told me the other day, dip your Built Bar into hot chocolate. That sounds pretty good. So go to Built.com, use promo code LOCKED15 and get 15% off your next order. Again, that is promo code LOCKED15 to get 15% off your next order over at Built.com. All right, thank you for making Locked On Pelicans your first listen every single day. We're free and available on all platforms 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, for you all, breaking down everything you want to know about this team. Free. No paywall or anything like that. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and available on YouTube. Leave a 5-star review with a comment and tell a friend about the show. And now for your second listen, go check out Locked On Saints with host Ross Jackson, breaking down everything black and gold leading up to the Monday night football game. All right, so we talked about all of the great play. This was a solid team win for New Orleans. You really don't have a ton to complain about when it comes to this. Maybe like they had some more turnovers than you'd like, but that's just kind of, a New Orleans thing. This is what they do. But they played solid defense in the fourth quarter when they needed to. And I want to really focus on that for a minute. So one, yes, Damien Lillard had 39 points. That's a lot. We know that. But we knew he was going to have a big performance in this one, right? But felt like he could have gone for 50 or 60 and didn't. And part of that was at times Herb Jones playing him. The rookie started on one of the best shooters we have in the NBA, one of the better scorers we have in the NBA, shooter all time maybe, not like Steph Curry levels, but pretty high up there. And Herb Jones did a good job. Look, he gets an unfriendly whistle. It's very much a rookie whistle. He had 5 fouls in this one. A couple of them were not fouls, and it was more just Dame getting star calls than anything else. But you can really see the makings of a special defensive player in there and a guy that works well off ball too. Herb Jones was really good, I thought, in this one, and he had a tough job. Didn't do much when it came to the box score and scoring. That's okay when you're kind of taking on that sort of performance with Damien Lillard, trying to slow him down and seeing what you're going to be capable of doing. He did a very good job, I thought, enough in the fourth quarter of trying to slow down the all-pro, the all-NBA guy. And look, Lillard needed to score 50 or 60 to win this game, and wasn't able to do it. And the Pelicans had a solid game plan in the fourth quarter, right? It was limit Dame and let other guys try and beat you. And this isn't something we've seen New Orleans do all that often, try and kind of almost game plan out the best player. Go back to that Nuggets loss in OT where they just let Jokic do whatever he wanted. That was not the case in the fourth quarter here with Damian Lillard. They doubled him at times. They put Herb on him. They switched. They tried to make his life as hard as possible and let anyone else beat him. And you know what? Those guys didn't. Every other Portland Trailblazer than Damian Lillard in the fourth quarter shot 4 of 11. That's how you beat that team. It was limit Dame, get the ball out of his hands into other guys' hands and let them shoot and contest just enough. And they didn't, right? Like Norm Powell went 0 for 3. Nurkic 0 for 1 in that stretch. Ben McLemore 0 for 2. Those are really solid performances from the rest of the team limiting these guys. So really, really happy to see this team get a win that was done offensively, defensively, just an overall solid victory for New Orleans. They needed it, right? You're on a 3-game winning streak right now. You have a couple of winnable games coming up, including Thursday, whatever day, the 23rd. What day of the week is that? Thursday, there we go, against the Orlando Magic. The end of 2021 is pretty kind to New Orleans, and then the first 4 games of 2022 just brutal. Right? You got the Bucks, you've got the Jazz, then the Suns on the second night of a back-to-back, and then you finish it off against the Warriors in 4 games in 6 days. You needed to get this win. You need to get 1 or 2 more on this stretch. If you do that, I'll start to believe in this team a little bit more. Build on this momentum. Let's get another solid Nickeil Alexander-Walker game. They need that. We'll see coming up on Thursday. So that's going to do it for this episode of Locked On Pelicans. More talk on Zion, on trade targets, on why this team is playing much better in tomorrow and the rest of the week. And now for your second listen, go check out Locked On Bets, your daily one-stop shop for all your gambling needs. It's free and available on all platforms. As always, I'm your host, Jake Madison, at NOLA Jake on Twitter, and I'll be back with you all tomorrow.